Got it. Should have cleaned my glasses before we went live. Welcome to Magical Monday Manifestations. My name is Valorie Lewis. I will be your internet psychic tarot card reader today. And the way Magical Monday Manifestations go, it is a group read. So it's not so much a collective. However, it spills over into the collective, but it's a group read based on the energies of the group who joins me here live. If you're watching from YouTube, I do apologize, but I don't watch comments on YouTube because I am live on a Zoom call when this is simulcast. So I hope you choose to join us over in the actual live call one of these days. You can find us on Meetup under Tarot Unicorns and Coffee. And the reason why we come together on Mondays is to set our week up for success so that we can manifest our life, create our life, be creators and manifestors instead of just falling into our week and reacting to whatever the universe serves up to us. It's so much better when we can take a little bit of control, even though they tell me control is an illusion. I'm still trying for it, damn it. All right. So that's why we do these on Monday. And what I do is I pull from the tarot first. We get our guidance from the cards. The cards gives us a jumping off spot. But I also will give whatever other messages come through from spirit, guides, interstellars, whoever has our highest and best interests at heart. I don't know if I completed the thought earlier, but I do pull on the energies of this group. So it's collective in the sense of whoever shows up is the energies that I pull off of, as opposed to just collective, meaning humankind as a whole. No, it is specific to this group. So what I have found and the feedback that I have gotten, that no matter where you are in your path and what you might be questioning when you come into these group settings, one of these messages, one of these cards is going to hit it home for you, and you will get the message that you seek, because that's not how Valorie works. That's how the divine works. And the divine will get the messages to you and by any means possible. So I'm glad you all are here today. We will start with the tarot and then move on to oracle cards, and we will see what messages Spirit has for us. I'm going to invite everyone to ground themselves as I continue to shuffle. Ground in whatever way feels comfortable for you. In the most simplest of terms, it means bringing all of your attention and focus to this present moment. Just settling into this present moment. Letting the distractions fade into the background. Opening yourself up to receive any messages that are in your highest and best good. Knowing that we are protected in this setting, in this space. We have our angels watching over us. I always invite them in first. So let's see what messages Spirit has for us. All righty. Today's deck. Hi, Tiana. I just saw your note over there. Today's deck is Vice Versa Tarot. I haven't pulled from that for a while. And it's always difficult because I can see both sides of the card. So I'm trying not to look as I pull these cards. Let's see. All right. Got our 5 cards. Need somewhere to put my deck. See what kind of information is coming through today. Apologize, I'm still getting over that cold. So pardon me for my sniffles. All right, sorry about that. I think we're ready to go. First card is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you know what's standing out to me is that red bird in the sky. It looks like it's supposed to be an eagle, but it's clearly red. Maybe a hawk. I don't know. Anytime I see a red anything, I always think of a deceased loved one watching over you, like a cardinal. So it doesn't have to be. It's obviously not a cardinal. but it is a red bird. Ace of Wands. Ace, new beginning, fresh start. Wands, I love it because Wands is all about our personal power. And I do know that astrologically, we are stepping into a time where we need to be focused on ourselves. It's a you period. So focus on yourself, on what you need. And so this Ace of Wands coordinates very well, supports the messages that astrology has given us as well, because this is all about your personal power. What sparks you? Wands is our fire sign. What sparks you? What brings you alive? What starts something interesting in your life? Because Ace is all about beginnings. So focus on that. Think about that. When was the last time you got excited about something? What was it? And can you do more of it? That's how we're starting our week out. Fresh beginnings, fresh insights, personal power, inspiration. I love it. And then once we get all of that going and we are knowing where we want to point, we're going to point towards our excitement, towards our joy, what other energies can support us. And we go right into a queen. Is the queen? Yes. Queen of Pentacles, another bird. What's with the bird, Spirit? Is there a deeper message? I'm looking at the other cards. We got birds coming up too. So a lot of birds. If birds mean something to you, maybe that's a message to you. But this is the Queen of Pentacles, and that is divine feminine energy. And it's also the suit of Pentacles. And again, the Pentacles is about, it's earth related, but it's about what do you hold valuable in this physically manifested world. Pentacles is earth sign. It's about physically manifested. I can see it, touch it, taste it, smell it. What's in the world around me. That's what the suit of Pentacles represents. And here we have the Queen, which is saying you need to be more nurturing, more led by your intuition, more led by your divine feminine side, as in regards to this Pentacle energy. I'm waiting for a message. There seems to be something more they want me to tell y'all besides just Queen of Pentacles energy. Seems like it's going to tie in a little bit later. So we have the Ace asking us to begin, or at least to begin focusing on something new or something that excites us. For those of y'all whose life has gotten a little stale, it's asking you to add a little spice and seasoning into your life with that Ace. And then once you have that, we're going right into the Queen. The Queen knows exactly what to do with that and where to apply it in her physical world. So we're getting out of our head. We're getting into our physically manifested world. We're doing things. We're looking at life new. There's another message. I don't know what they want me to tell you. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles. Spirit is asking me to go to the book on this one. And by the way, that is the front facing side of the Queen of Pentacles. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. I forgot to flip it around for those of you that are new. You are not familiar with my where are the queens? With my vice versa tarot deck. So I'm about to get mad real fast if I don't see a queen. Have a maybe they separate they do. They separate the court cards in this deck. Not my favorite way of reading. Okay. For those of you unfamiliar with the vice versa tarot, that is the front side. The back side, that's why it's called vice versa, gives you a different outlook of the same card. If you were standing next to this Queen's throne, what would you see from her perspective, from her point of view? And often on the court cards, on the kings and the queens, what sits behind the throne is where they draw their power from. So just a little insight on that. But we did pull, and there's abundance. I don't know if y'all can see that bunny rabbit. There's abundance. So she's never worried. Pentacles, she's never worried about her money. She's never worried about her finances. She's got abundance. That's the other side. This is the side we drew. And let me see why Spirit wanted me to go here. That is a hawk, by the way. A hawk sits atop the throne. Let's see, it's just kind of describing the picture. She's welcoming and calm. This woman is who most people see as the ultimate earth mother. She is always ready to feed the hungry and shelter the wanderers. And she does it all with genuine love. Her strength comes from nature and its cycles of renewal. She is patient through the hard times because she knows that spring will always come again. And for those of us in the US, spring just came. Her hawk symbolizes her ability to see the big picture as well as the details. And those who love her cannot imagine their world without her. So if you're feeling lost, misguided, a little lack of clarity, this queen is coming to show you you're either too far into the weeds, you're not seeing the big picture, or you're too expanded and you're not seeing the details. You know your own personal situation, but she's able to see both. And so she's urging you to choose whichever perspective is going to guide you the most in this way. I like how it says that she's connected to Earth and the cycles, because we've got a lot going on as far as nature cycles with the beginning of spring, all of that, spring equinox, start of Aries season, start of our astrological new year. All right, so we got all that going on, urging us to move forward, urging us to figure out what inspires us, bring it into the real world, firmly plant it in our manifested world with that queen energy. And then what's going to happen? What's going to happen if we do all that, Spirit? Oh, I'm going to bless you with a tower moment. So then we have the tower, and the tower looks kind of, well, I would not want to be on fire falling from a tower, but tower moments are what clear the way for better to come in. Look, there's the other bird. I told you there was a bunch of birds in our tarot today. That looks like a dove of peace. Often depicted by the tower is the fall of ego. I know y'all can't see that from this artist's depiction, but there's usually one of the characters with the crown falling off as he's falling down, and that's considered the fall of ego. So this might be an ego check, and this is just, remember when we pulled this and part of the text said something about she operates from love? So Spirit is just asking you to check in at this moment. Let your ego fall away. Are you doing whatever you're about to do or whatever you're thinking about doing it? Are you doing it from ego or are you doing it from love? Now, ego is not always a bad thing. Ego is sometimes that dangling carrot that gets us off our ass and gets us moving towards something that Spirit is trying to direct us to. Ego is not always bad. But in this instance, Spirit is asking us to check in with our ego and to see, is this next step that I'm contemplating being motivated by love or ego? And it can be the same exact action. You might just need to tweak how you're looking at it. So Spirit's not saying don't do the action. Spirit's saying look at your motivation. And then also a tower moment, again, depicts that something needs to fall away before something better can come in to replace it. Towers also represent moments of enlightenment. I do know based on planetary placements that are moving around up there, that some of us are in a prime position to open ourselves up to different viewpoints, higher level thinking, higher vibration thoughts that maybe we didn't have access to before because we're all going through this spiritual awakening collectively. So if you're having new thoughts or if you're having moments where you're just like, well, that's crazy, that can't be my thought, I don't know what's going on. Maybe listen to it, maybe dig into that a little bit more, because it might be that moment of inspiration that you would dismiss otherwise had you not came to a reading and somebody said, be on the lookout for new ideas. So Spirit is trying to tell you, I'm sending you something, I'm waking you up so that when it comes, you're not a do not deliver, please pick up at the post office, so that you're there and you're ready to receive it and you're on the lookout for it. So we're having a tower moment, which is going to clear some things away for us, moment of enlightenment, checking in with our ego. And then we move right into love. So I feel like Spirit is like doubling down on the making sure you are operating out of a place of love and not out of a place of ego. Because we had this one that said, be more nurturing, be more loving, abundance is all around you. This one which says, check your ego. And then right after ego, we have love. The Spirit's like, no, really, I need you to really make sure you're operating out of love, because what's about to come next for all of us on this path is going to call for us to be in the energy of love to make that transition easier. Sure, you can do it kicking and screaming and complaining the whole way, holding on to ego or fear or doubt, or if you want a little easier path, you can do it out of love. Follow love. That's quite a depiction for the lovers. There's so much going on in the lovers card. I'm just seeing the spirit wants me to mention. The mask out of this whole scene, which there's quite a scene, the thing that's standing out to me is that male figure's mask. And I'm hearing a message of unmasking yourself. I feel like that message is very specific to someone who might be working on something along those lines. Unmasking yourself, dropping the pretenses. Stop pretending, these are messages from spirit. Stop pretending to be someone you're not in order to fit in or in order to be loved. Drop the mask, be who you really are. Let the people who really love the true you show up. They can't show up as long as you're hiding behind the mask. Just being authentically you is what I'm getting. There's a lot going on in this picture. As I look closely, it does look like a mask, doesn't it? Does that look like a mask to you? But look real close. And it's almost like they swapped faces. But her face has white marks on it. And I don't even know if that's like a birthmark or something. I didn't even notice that until I looked real close at her face. Interesting. In any case, I'm going with the mask because that's how spirit showed it to me. And the following messages about dropping the pretenses, I feel are important to someone who showed up today and needed to hear that message. Being the true you is the way to get to the next level, as scary as that may seem for some of us. And then lastly, this is going to tie in back to the Queen because she's Queen of Pentacles. We're talking about dealing with all of this spiritual stuff that swirls around and all of those thoughts. How do we bring that into our physical world? Because that's what spirit is asking us to do right now. Stop thinking about a tarot card and go get your tarot deck. That's the easiest way I can put it, just because I'm pulling tarot cards. But stop thinking about whatever it is that you're thinking about doing and put it into the real world. Is there any way that even a far off dream that you have no way of manifesting today, is there any way you can bring a piece of that into the real world? Just a piece of it. Maybe you want to go to Paris and you're planning that trip and you know that trip is 3 years off, but can you go to the local bakery and order a French pastry? Is there any way to bring just a piece of what it is you're trying to manifest into the real world? Because I feel like that's our message for this week, along with the other messages. And then finally, the reason why I'm saying that's our message is because we have another pentacle and it's a knight. And the knight is the actionary. The knight is asking us to take action, to move towards what is really valuable for us. Again, the pentacles are about manifested things in the real world, but it's not always about our money and our finances. It can be about anything in this real world that we hold valuable. So maybe it's about your job, not so much about the money, because at your job, you feel valued because you really like what you do. Or maybe it's about being a parent or being a child. It doesn't have to be all money. It's about anything that you hold as valuable. So figure out what's valuable to you. Try looking at, I'm seeing a lot of shifting in perspectives. I'm seeing that with the ace. I'm also seeing that with that tower and that moment of enlightenment. So there's a lot of shifting in perspectives that are on the table for many of us. And I'm understanding that the shifting is in perspectives is also a way of kind of sifting, shaking up our thoughts and letting only the thoughts that really need to be present to actually settle down and getting rid of the rest, because this is asking us to once again re-examine what is it that we hold as valuable in this world. That's the action. The action is, I need you to sit down, maybe with paper and pen, maybe with a recorder, however you do you, and figure out and make a statement about what is valuable to you. Because Spirit's like, you've been talking about it and saying it, but I think I need you to put it on paper. I think you need to put it into the real world in some kind of way. Because I think when you see it in front of you, you might notice some discrepancies between what you say is valuable and what you're actually doing with your life. So Spirit is asking us to re-examine that, bring it into the real world, make it real, and then like that ace and like that Queen of Pentacles, and then follow the inspiration. Once we know where we're pointed, once we know what's valuable, then we can take those actions. Then we can follow the inspiration. That's what I have. I think I'll put all of these up here. That's what I have from the tarot. Oracle cards are next. And I'm trying to figure what deck I'm going to go to. I think we're just going to jump right in. We're just going to jump right in with these astrological interstellar energy. I have one deck. I've got a couple. I've got one deck that is specifically and wholly written to be about interstellar energy, and it is Beyond Lemuria. That's the one I'm going to pull from. This is very interesting because it's almost like I'm getting a spread of cards. I got 3 cards, y'all. What are the interstellars trying to tell us today? I usually only get 1 card from each oracle deck. So let's see what's going on here. I'm pretty sure I know the message of most of these cards based on the keywords, but there's one on here that I have no idea. So one moment. The first one is the infinite. That little scarab down there at the bottom is standing out. The scarab and also the infinity sign right above the scarab. I forget what scarabs stand for in Egyptian. I don't know. It's standing out to me, so that's something I'm going to look out. But here's the message, the infinite. I'm not going to read it from the book. The infinite, look at all the light language up there in the, I just love light language and that DNA strand. Anyway, the infinite, remember when I talked about Spirit is asking you to re-examine what it is that you hold valuable? Spirit is saying you're limiting yourself. When you figure out what it is you want in this world, then after you got your little list, Spirit is saying, is there anything on that list that you are restricting? Because I'm telling you right now, you have access to the infinite. You have access to any and everything. So consider that when you're making your list, when you're setting up your guidepost of where is it I'm trying to really focus on getting to, consider that you have infinite available to you, infinite abundance, infinite love, infinite resources, infinite friendships, infinite whatever it is you're trying to get is available to you. And for some reason, Spirit is really trying to draw that home to us that we are limiting ourselves. Oh, Egyptian scarab is a symbol of renewal and rebirth. And guess what the other card I got was? Transformation. Makes perfect sense. No wonder that little scarab was standing out for me. Transformation is perfectly in line. This is the 3rd card I drew. I'm going to go back to the 2nd card. That's the one I have to read on. But remember that card about the tower card that we pulled in the tarot? Again, tower is also a symbol of transformation because we can't transform into the new form until everything that we were, everything that we don't need is gone. So that's why we have those tower moments. Like butterfly is the perfect example of transformation, used a billion times over in the spiritual world, but it's used a billion times over because it's very accurate. The caterpillar has to go away before the butterfly can emerge. And here we have transformation. And transformation is asking you, but she almost looks like she's kind of wrapped in a little cocoon. Maybe she's a butterfly in the making. She's got some little wings back there. They're feathers. Anyway, what in your life has got to go away, tower moment, before what you're asking for can come in? Before you can experience this transformation in the easiest way, we're all gonna experience transformation. Question is, how easy is it gonna be? So in order for you to experience this transformation that you're being called to, I think we all sense it on some level. What is it in your life that you need to let go of? Transformation. I think I am gonna see. What else do you want to tell me about this little figure? What do we need to know? Transformation comes right after the violet flame. Some of you are familiar with that. Transformation, I'm going to read the keyword self-nurturing, and that's why I read it, because we got the Queen of Pentacles. We already talked about needing to lean into that divine feminine nurturing energy. Self-nurturing, cocooning. So it was a cocoon. Cocooning. Before the butterfly, these are just keywords, being gentle on yourself and angelic embrace. So it is a butterfly. Interesting. This card signifies going inward and being truly present with wherever you are at in your process. It emits a sense of self-nurture and space that is held as a container for our delicate and vulnerable gestation periods. Going within and being truly present with wherever you are in your process, again, is that self-examination of what is it that where is it I'm really trying to point towards, what's really valuable in my life, what do I need to let go of? So we're processing some things, but we're not processing things to sit in the processing. I feel very, very strongly that Spirit is saying, I've been giving you all this time. Now what I'm doing is asking you to check off all of those boxes and do the final processing. We're not starting this brand new. We've been processing shit for a long time. Spirit is saying, come on, let's finally finish this, check it off. Let's finally stop talking about what we need to let go of, and let's let go of the shit and actually take some action, because I need you to get on with this transformation stage. I need you to let go and move on up to where I'm asking you to go. And then this last card, which is actually the second card, I pulled 1, 2, 3. This is the second one, and it's Realm Bridger. I'm going to let y'all sit with that and see if anything comes through for you personally on your journey before I read the text on it. Isn't that a beautiful image? Realm Bridger, 41. The keywords for this one are visionary, architects of the future, information from other realms, bridging the seen with the unseen. That makes so much sense. Inspiration, seeding a new earth, transversing different states of consciousness, birthing ideas from subtle reality, and journeying. All of that makes perfect sense to me. I'm going to read the text on this. Have you ever felt that there is more than meets the eye in the perception that we call reality? That there really is more going on behind the scenes? Do you ever glimpse beyond your physical senses and wonder if they perceive is just the tip of the iceberg? Do you ever get visions or insights just as you are falling off to sleep? Do you dream in colors that are more vibrant than you have experienced in waking life? As you raise your vibration and explore different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomenon you might have believed only happens in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of the subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas, creativity, and to explore the edges of the universe. This card is about bridging the seen and the unseen. Intuitive painting this is the author speaking. Intuitive painting is my method of connection, but the ability to crystallize the normally intangible can manifest in other ways. Anchoring the collective dreaming for a new future is not as out of reach as we may think. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can catch the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even math can form the path of the visionary. Once these visions are in the minds and hearts of many, it can merge into matter. These blueprints then go to the architects, and the ideas become physicalized. It is time to dream outside the box. It is time for the inventors, the artists, the poets, and the visionary leaders to step forward and collectively dream in a new future. Love it. Okay, so this is the divinatory meeting. You are the pioneer of your life. The way forward may be in your dreams or visions. You might find it useful to do automatic writing or intuitive drawing to capture some of the more lucid information. Be creative and don't take on the opinions of others. It's time to think and do things a whole other way. After all, as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I believe that was Einstein who said that. You might find it useful, I'm going back. You might find it useful to do automatic writing. Highly suggest that if you have a moment, because it doesn't take anything other than a pen, paper, and a couple of moments of mindfulness. Or intuitive drawing to capture some of the more lucid information. And the reason why that stood out to me is because we just had, this past Saturday, we just had Art with Interstellars, me and Stephanie Gray, and that's exactly what that process is. It's sitting down and just putting yourself in a creative space and waiting to see if any messages come through. So Interesting that that deck is suggesting that same stuff. And it also makes sense because we got the Ace of Wands, not any of the other aces, the Ace of Wands. And Wands is all about creativity, inspiration, intuition. So we're really being asked to tap, and we got the Queen, which the Queen is about the inspiration, intuitive, the divine feminine side. So we're really being asked to tune in and tap into our inspiration, our intuition, our creative, our divine feminine side as we seek to find the guidance or the direction that we're looking for this week. Somebody said, I needed that. Yay! I'm not sure which message, but yay. Where else? Where else do we need to go, Matt? With our messages. We're doing pretty good on time. I'm going to go to the Moonology. How about that? Moonology deck. I wanted to tell y'all while I'm shuffling these cards, and I have a moment. In April, I was hoping I would have it before I got on today, but I didn't get it posted. But in April, I'm bringing back energy clearings and energy healings, doing it slightly different. It'll be on a donation base. So you can still attend and get an energy clearing and DNA activation, even if your funds are a little low, because it's going to be done on a donation only. So be looking for that in April. I'm also doing, I'm trying to shuffle and talk at the same time, and my brain is like, whoa there, slow down. I'm also doing group readings. So I'm bringing back group readings. So if you have been contemplating trying to get a one-on-one reading with me, that just wasn't feasible for you, in April, towards the end of the month, I'll be doing group readings, which means not the same as this, because you'll get an individual reading within a group setting. So hope that makes sense. If not, just keep an eye out for when it pops up on the calendar. Okay, words. Moonology, manifestation. Yasmin Bolin, I love this deck. And the card we pulled, full moon in Libra, find a balance. Look at that card. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at that path. Is that what y'all's path looks like when y'all go into meditation? And somebody says you're walking down a path. That's a beautiful path. Maybe that'll help you with your visualization. I will go on Google image search when I'm looking for like a new place to go in my meditation, and I'll just search like mythical garden or magical path in a forest just to get some image ideas for when I go into meditation. But this one is full moon in Libra. And this is not necessarily what's going on up in our sky, but it's what energies we can pull on and ask to support us as we walk our path this week. For this week's energy, full moon in Libra, found it. Find a balance. Oh, on April 5th, we will have the full moon in Libra. Thank you, Kitty. Focusing on your own wants and needs is understandable. You need to find a balance between what you need and what someone else needs. I'm going to say, I get that, but I also know is it Jupiter? With Jupiter moving into Aquarius and with our last new moon in Aries, especially with the new moon in Aries, this is asking you to find a balance. Yes, be balanced. But I believe Spirit has told me that the balance is because we have been putting other people's needs, other people's wants, society's needs sometimes, what we've been taught or raised to do before our own. And the finding a balance is about focusing back on ourselves, using that Aries energy, using that spring, it's fresh, we have new things starting up, using all of those energies, and also using this full moon in Libra to card energy, not what's going on. Well, you can wait until the 5th if you want to wait until the 5th, but using the card, the energy, and calling in, or just sitting with your guides and calling yourself back into a state of balance, because you've been spending too much time worried about everybody else. And Spirit is asking you to think about yourself, think about your own wants, your own desires, think about what lights you up, Think about all of the things. I love Mary. Mary's doing the dance over there. Think about all of the things that are important to you and focus on you for a little while. That's where your balance is going to come from, because you're out of balance with focusing on everyone else. If you would like some other things to help with finding balance and opening your heart, jasmine essential oil is recommended. And I'm going to mispronounce her name, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess associated with love, abundance, and beauty. So you can also call in that energy if that's something that piques your interest. Or you can just, it's not as complicated as we make it. I just gave you a name. I don't know who it is. I know I've seen the name before, but if you were like, I wonder what that goddess is about, or I wonder what that name is about. If you were just to go and spend 5 minutes Googling it and reading whatever came up for that goddess, that's calling in her energy, because for those 5 minutes, you're focused on who is this person? What is this person about? You're calling in her energy just by reading a 5-minute article on Google. It doesn't have to be as complicated as I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a pinch of hair from the golden nectar. It doesn't have to be all of that complicated. You can just sit down and read about this, and that's calling in that energy. That's increasing your knowledge, putting you in the energy of whatever it is you're trying to call in or read about. Go read about full moon and Libra and just read about it. That's calling in the energy. That's what I say. I'll be trying to give y'all spiritual cheat codes now. If y'all listen to them or not, that's up to you, but that's a spiritual cheat code right there. I guarantee you're going to feel different having read about a goddess for 5 minutes than if you just went and played Candy Crush for 5 minutes. Nothing against Candy Crush, but easy ways to call in energy. Rebel deck, I don't know why, because this is usually when I read at the end, but it seems appropriate. This was a gift. Somebody saw this and said I had to have it. Rebel deck, that's what the deck looks like. So now y'all know why I have it. The Oracle with Attitude, 0 filter, 0 fucks, all fun. What do we need to know? This one damn near jumped out. And what's this say? More about the selfish. I'm telling y'all, Spirit is like, y'all think something's wrong with being selfish when we've been trying to tell y'all you do you since the beginning of time. You've been so worried about everybody else. And look at you. Just look at humankind. If you'd have just paid attention to yourself, that's what our guides are saying. So you do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. All right. You do you. I don't know who's trying to change somebody, but you do you. That's that. What else you got for us, Spirit? Trying to manifest some things this week. You gave us an action card. You gave us a Knight, Spirit. So you need us to take some action to make these manifestations happen. What action? Super attractor. Directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. That's another cheat code I learned from Abraham Hicks. When, let's say your car just broke down, and that's major because you need your car for everything, whatever. Okay, your car just broke down. Everything is bad. You just got laid off your job. You found out you're sick. Your dog ran away. All of these bad things. And your garden just sprouted its first rose for spring. Now you can focus on the really, really bad things that really, really need your attention, because a car and a lost job and your dog is missing. What the fuck? Or you can focus on that one rose that just popped up for spring. Spirit has taught me that the thing that I focus on does not have to be related to the thing that I'm calling in. I can focus on a rose and my car situation will work out. I don't have to be focused on car. a car. What am I going to do with the car? Well, I have to focus in the good area. I have to raise my vibration about this car. No, you can raise your vibration about any damn thing and still get into the same bucket of my car situation is going to work out. So I consider that a cheat code because sometimes we get so fixated on, I have to think positively about this car and I have to think positively about my money. No, you can just think positively about that beautiful rose and everything else will kind of line up for you. So it's the focus on the thing that is thriving in your life if you want more of the good things to come to you. It doesn't have to be on the same topic. Oh, I think we'll go to angels and light workers. How about that? Nope, I named it wrong. Angels and light workers. I just made a new deck for Kyle Gray. Somebody tell him he needs to make that deck and give me royalties. Angels and light workers. The deck is also actually called Keepers of the Light from Kyle Gray. And let's see what information comes. That's a country song. Angels and Light Workers. That could be a country song. Tim McGraw and Kyle Gray are both going to make some money off of me. I would love to hear Tim McGraw sing Angels and Light Workers. Now that would be a song. Anybody else a Tim McGraw fan, or I'm all alone? Have y'all seen, is it 1883? Tim McGraw and Faith Evans in 1883. I think it's on Netflix. Oh my God, it's a miniseries. I did not know he was such a good actor, him and his wife. I got a little crush on Tim McGraw. Serapis Bay is from Keepers of the Light. Egyptian, and we had that scarab that I couldn't get my eyes off of earlier. We got an Egyptian thing. Well, I got an Egyptian thing coming up. I don't know. Is Egyptian hitting for any of the rest of you? Serapis Bay, and it says Ascension. Move into your true self, dropping that mask. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. Let's see what else we have from you, sir. And which realm are you in? I think they do these in different categories. Maybe that's the other book. That might be the other book. Okay, Serapis Bay. Serapis Bay is the light keeper in charge of Ascension. He once served as a priest in Luxor, Egypt, helping those passing on to cross over into the light. Now he is a presence we can call on in order to ascend. Ascension means rising up. It reminds us of the story of Christ being resurrected after death. We also know Easter is coming up. This is all lining up very well. This means that Serapis Bay can guide us from the lowest states of being back to the light. His energy is almost like that of a phoenix, giving us the support to move out of our own hell or darkness into a space that supports our growth. Phoenix is one of my spirit animals, y'all. The stars cannot, this is the message, the stars cannot shine without darkness. You may have experienced the low state of being, trauma, or depression, or all of it for some of us, but this is a new beginning. That's the Ace of Wands, new beginning. Become aware of growth. There is always room for improvement. There's also a sense of presentation now. You may be receiving documentation or certification to acknowledge your growth or experience. Look for that in the metaphysical realms as well. I mean, yes, if you're in school or whatever, or at a job that's going to give you an actual physical, but I'm sensing that there's going to be some kind of confirmation or acknowledgement from the spiritual realm for many of us, asking us to step into this next level. It's important to cherish this time and to realize that without the challenges or obstacles you faced, you wouldn't be as strong, powerful, or focused as you are today. You are ascending personally and spiritually at this time, and the universe is here to support it. Serapis Bay, you can call on that energy to help you move into the next level, to help you know what to leave behind in your tower moment, just to help you with all things ascension related. I'm going to call on some of that because I feel something is afoot Something is shifting, something is happening. And all I've been told is to show up. So I'm going to call on some of that energy to help me with whatever is happening. Yay. Oh, you just got your promotion. Somebody said they just got their promotion. So now we know who that message was about. Yay, congratulations. Let's all post some congratulatory energy. All right. Messages from the mermaids. Turn around, turn away. I was going to sing for y'all, but it's turn away. What are we turning away from? Probably more about that tower. No, because we didn't get the letting go. I think we would have got the letting go. What are we turning away from? Well, it is kind of about tower because it says turn away from or turn your back on a situation that isn't serving your highest good. A tower moment is a sudden, unexpected removal of things that are not serving our highest good. I personally experience tower moments when I'm stubborn. I don't have tower moments when I'm following inspiration and listening to my intuition. I have tower moments when I'm stubborn. I take that back. Sometimes I have tower moments when I'm not stubborn, when that's just life. Spirit is like, we need you to move and we need you to move now. And I don't have time to explain it. So sometimes I have tower moments like that. But I have a lot of unnecessary tower moments when I'm just being stubborn. So this says turn away from or turn your back on a situation that isn't serving your highest good. Turning away can be an empowering thing to do. This mermaid is showing you that turning away is the correct course of action, even if this is only a temporary measure. It can be a challenging action to take as you may feel defeated on an egotistical level. Remember letting go of that ego? Yet in your wisdom, you know deep down it's the right thing to do. So hold your head up high and accept that you've done all you can do in this moment. Turn or swim away with your self-esteem intact. Turning away can be a loving gesture when you know that the people or situation you're turning away from will flourish without your input or physical presence. And maybe they won't flourish, or maybe you can't see the flourish yet. But if you know that they need to go through whatever they need to go through for their own spiritual path or journey, still, the flourishing will come later. You can still send helping thoughts to the people or situation so that you can feel better about changing course, and you'll still be helping by sending blessings from a distance. Sometimes we need to turn away from a situation to gain a better perspective on things. Don't feel that you have to endure your present circumstances if they don't feel right for you. Perhaps you're finding something unacceptable, in which case it's important to honor your own feelings. Have you ever turned away from a situation, but you're tempted to get involved to get every ex I ever had? Yes. If this resonates with you, think long and carefully before backtracking. Try to recall the reason you turned away in the first place. Yep, that's what I have to do every time to keep me from calling back. Time has a habit of blurring our memories. So take off those rose-tinted glasses before making any major decisions in relation to this. All right. I hope that message helps someone. Maybe someone was trying to make a decision about what they should do, if they should walk away, if they should turn away. Hopefully that gave you some insight. And remember the part where it says it might only be temporary. You might be turning away so that you can move away from the situation and gain a bigger perspective, which is going to give you clarity. So feel like that's helping someone specifically who had a question about, should I be doing XYZ? I don't think I pulled from the unicorns for a while. Have I pulled from the unicorn deck for a while? I don't know. I have 9 minutes left. Yes, turning away from a habit that isn't helping me spirit. Somebody said, bye, Felicia. Turning away. Bye, Felicia. That's it. We don't need you no more. Okay, the next deck I'm pulling from is the self-care oracle, because remember I told you we need to start putting ourselves first. How can we put ourselves first this week, Spirit? Can you give us a fun way that will lead us further down our path, as well as putting ourselves first and taking care of ourselves? What will that be, Spirit? Is that card? What is that card? Chanting. Chanting, and it's card number 8, and 8 is about abundance. I feel like if you have been asking for any form of abundance, now is your time. I have been getting these messages nonstop. Now is your time. Work with somebody who can train you on manifesting. Join a manifestation club, something. I don't know. Do they have manifestation clubs? I don't know. They should. We have gyms. We should have manifestation clubs. I'm going to start that. That might be $1 million idea. Anyway, do something to work towards allowing yourself to perceive and receive more abundance, because I keep getting that message. Excuse me. Okay, chanting. If you're new to chanting, you can start with learning to tone Om, O-M, and the sound for each chakra. At first, practice chanting on your own to gain a level of comfort. I am not going to read all of these chakras, but each chakra has its own tone, with the crown chakra and the third eye chakra being the OM, the Om. You can go on YouTube, you can figure it out, you can figure out how to pronounce it. I highly suggest, at the very least, you go figure out how to pronounce OM, like the proper chanting of OM, because it's very, very calming when you do it correctly, when you actually focus on the syllables and how it's supposed to come out. I love that chant. Anyway, experiment with different tones, noticing which ones come easily or feel challenging. Feel free yourself from worrying about how you sound, allowing your unique voice to resonate and express itself. I'm not sure if it's in this book or if this is a thought we came up with in one of these readings, but here's the thing. Each chakra, and several other things, but we're just going to stick with the chakras. Each chakra has its own tone, right? And I mentioned that there's the 7 tones. So say you're going through and you're just trying to figure out how to pronounce each one, and you just get really stuck on the heart chakra. Like you can't find a video that explains it. Every time you try to say it out loud, it just comes out really weird and you can't get it. That's a clue that the heart chakra is the chakra that you need to work on. So run through all of them. You can do that. Maybe once you figure out how to pronounce all of them, maybe that's what you just wake up every morning and you just run through all 7 and you see which one gets caught up and which one you can't pronounce. That's the chakra that you probably need to work on and move some energy around. When you're ready to go deeper and experience the sensation of chanting in a group, look for local singing, chanting, or kirtan events, Kirtan, kirtan events. Slow down, Valorie. Most yoga studios will include chanting as part of the practice, typically at the beginning or end of the class. You can also pioneer the effort within your community and gather some loved ones who are willing to chant with you. This activity is especially fun to try in an enclosed space that has a loud echo or outside surrounding by beautiful nature. That's true. Okay, journaling prompt. If you are a journaler or if you would like to think further about this chanting suggestion from Spirit, what blocks, real or imagined, prevent you from chanting? And what practical steps can you take to eliminate those blocks? Cool. I think I'm going to have enough time to end with a unicorn card. For those of you who might be joining for the first time, I don't know if I have any first time attendees, but if we do this every Monday. It's always free to attend. It's always a message in there for you somewhere. If you miss it, it's almost always recorded over on the YouTube, so you can go and catch it at a time that's more convenient for you throughout the week. I'm so glad you're all here. This has been lovely. Your energies feel really good. Y'all's energies today feel like you are ready for the next big thing. Feels like you're ready to walk through the door, walk up the stairs, get outside. It feels like spring energy. It feels like you're ready, like you're just over it. And that's a good place to feel, because It's better than being in the middle of it. Imagination. Oh, what's my YouTube channel? I'll grab it here for you in just a minute, Rose. It's Goddess with an Attitude. Goddess with an Attitude, and my picture is on there, but I forget the exact, if it's exactly Goddess with an Attitude or if there's like a hyphen or something, I forget. But imagination is the unicorn that's going to help us this week. And the small print says, envision a new reality. We got a lot of talk about that. We got that visionary card in the other deck. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Believe in unlimited possibilities. And we got that with the infinite card from the Beyond Lemuria deck. Imagination. I just like that unicorn. Let me read the message. Your imagination was once wild, free, and magical. Deep in your heart, you believed that anything was possible. Then you grew older and were told to live in the real world. You were told to take sensible action, to be responsible, and to learn facts and figures instead of dwelling in daydreams. You were led to believe that hard work was the only way to get results. This thinking cut you off from your magic and blocked you from using one of your most powerful manifesting tools. Now the winged horse calls on you to soar back into the realms of your imagination and to use daydreaming as a powerful way to create your reality. Return to your childlike mind that was full of wonder and to your belief in magic and miracles. Instead of being limited by reason, allow yourself to fly high into the possibility and believe you can be, do, and have anything. If you can see it happening in your mind, it can become real in the physical. Spend time each day to powerfully dream of what you want. That's why we needed to figure out what's valuable for us earlier. That's why the Tarot told us to take that time to figure that out. Let your imagination activate feelings of joy, delight, gratitude, amazement, and surprise, as if your wildest dreams have already come true. Let those feelings flood your body and stream them back to the universe. Give thanks in advance and surrender the how to the divine. This card also encourages you to go even higher with your dreams and to trust that they are closer than you think. Have patience and don't give up right before your vision manifests. Beautiful card to end on, especially since we're talking about Magical Monday manifestations. We're setting our week up for success, and that unicorn of manifestation is coming to say, I got you. You got unicorns helping you manifest your dreams. What more can you ask for? What's the name of the unicorn deck? Oracle of the Unicorns by Cordelia Francesca Braba. All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you all so much. I hope this insight, guidance messages have helped you and guide you throughout the week. Again, remember, it's not about just listening. It's about taking action with these inspired messages. I love you all. I hope I see you back next week. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.